Hey y'all, what's up? It's Jay and I'm back with another one for you guys, and this is going to be a reading, a little write-up that I did. Yeah. So Mars, Venus conjunct. And how I have it spaced out here is Saturn is opposing and Mars, Venus conjunct is opposing Saturn, which is in retrograde, and it's also in conjuncting Pisces. Is building that in conjunction with Pisces, is building that misunderstanding. So it's given very much like that flash of focusing, because Mars and Venus is like your passion, your motivation, how it is you want to take action. Venus is going to be that appreciation and value. If I'm going to value something, if I'm going to put a motivation towards something, if Mars and Venus is going to, be conjuncting, quote unquote, it gives very much the closing the gap between your values and motivations, desiring, having what you value, appreciating, being close to home when it comes to the intentions and passions you put into it. So when it comes to the effort, the passions, the motivation, the drive, that vision, that Mars shit, that motivation for you to take action, and the actual action of it, not even just the motivation but the action, because it be the action for me, for the fellas. When your woman is cussing you the fuck out, she's dragging you from Sandstown North and P White Lock R&G, when she's doing that to your ass, it's because it's something with the Mars energy that ain't crack-a-lacking the way it needs to be bracking, motherfucker, when it comes to your motivation and how, not even just taking action. What the fuck does it, I know the look is with the sun. I know when you're doing the look, you're doing it with the sun, but bitch, that motivation has a look to it as well. Okay? That got a face of its own. What does your motivation look like, motherfucker? Okay, when it comes to the intentions and passions you put in, and that's just not just for the men's, just not for the mans, okay, and just not for the men's, it's for the fins. Because what does feminine motivation look like? What does it look like to be on the yin side of motherfucking Mars? What does it look like to be inside the vessel of Mars and to be in that, receptive? What the fuck is Mars receiving when it's going through these houses, motherfucker? Because right now, Mars in Leo is giving, on the yin, you got a vibe of motherfucking Leo. Yeah, it's fire, but it's fixed fire. So that fix, you can't be fixed. Look, you got too many fixed fires in too many motherfucking spaces. You will smoke a motherfucker out. You'll smoke a motherfucker out with too much fixed fire and a whole bunch of fixed spaces. You gotta know how to turn down your fire. Can you turn down? Everybody don't need to have that. So yeah. Opposing Saturn. So focusing on your stability, how you mature through life based on your chosen way of communicating, not just verbal, but overall communication through experience and motherfucking life, bitch. So not just verbal. We are not talking about just the verbal communications. What are you communicating with, motherfucker? Remember something and don't be a fucking sheep. Don't be sheep and just going along. Bitch, you better connect that dot. I don't care if the dot never connected there before. Bitch, you done found a dot. Connect that shit. And see what it gets bracket for. We know how to disconnect from motherfucking dots, if so no beaded. Beady head ass motherfuckers. Look. Focus on your stability. How you mature through life based on your chosen way of communicating, not just verbal, not just what it is that you communicate externally. Because when it comes to Saturn, fuck that internal external shit. Saturn is, bitch, what is the motherfucking, not even the point, not even the principle. Saturn is the motherfucking super Sega attendant, who the super attendant attends to. That's who the motherfucking super attendant attends to. Okay. Because Jupiter is one of the super Segas. He's all of the super Sega. That's all Jupiter shit. Because that's giving you a whole bunch of, going back in time type shit. Everybody is going back in time, bitch. We didn't, the family has decided to invest in motherfucking Paramount Plus. So I'm on Paramount Plus, and it's like, bitch, I know y'all got the movie credits to a whole bunch of, like, I know they got the credits to the shits. Paramount's. Get into the game. Y'all really got to get into the industry game. Like, it's not even just like the athlete, and that's Saturn talk. That's the focusing on your stability and how you mature through motherfucking life and how you communicate, not just verbally, but bitch, all the shit that you communicate with, all of the telecommunicating and telecommunications and teleporting and telepathic and television, and girl, now you got the what the fuck, the Teletubbies. The Teletubbies was trying to put the girls on. Girl, that there was portals in our stomachs. There's a red one, green one, blue one, red one, blue one. The sky, it was a spirit. It was a baby in the sun. So that means there was a creation in the sun. There was something like Teletubbies was trying to put us on. Now, was we put on? Nah. Was we put on into the psychological of what was trying to be put together? And click like that, how we thought. Good job, guys. Pat you in the back, but it didn't. I don't think that it. Maybe it set a subconscious seed there that I'm now, able to, crack and see if it's sprout or not. But this right now, like, yeah, Teletubbies was like, girl, what Teletubbies? It was just too much, because I feel like Teletubbies gave me that initial idea of wanting to be a YouTuber. Because I remember thinking, like, bitch, I could watch this shit for hours. Motherfuckers just washing hands. They washing their hands. Then don't let them set up it wasn't called GoPro back in the day. It was just some fucking camera that they had on goddamn Teletubbies. Where, like, it was actualized people. They would attach the camera onto the kids' goddamn bike ride. Girl, and you could see them riding the bike, but it was not just them riding the bike. It was the parent riding the bike, and it had the shit on the back of it. And I was thinking, bitch, I'm from Baltimore City. That is some foreign shit. What in the foreign is going on here? This shit is not fucking reality. But here comes Saturn, and it's like, focus on your stability, bitch. Make that a little bit more stable, Go ahead and invest in that bike with the thing in the back. But girl, also wait until your child is of age. So, not even of age, because like babies, like they be just down for the motherfucking girl crown. They be down for the bike ride. Like, I will hop Elliot on my back in my little backpack thingy, and we will be out here real shit. And she be like, she's not the type of kid that's like, yeah, get me up. But when she is that type of kid, I ain't even gonna hold you. She that one. Because if she wants to walk, but back in the day when it was given very much 9 month, 2 month, 3 month, few month, girl, you just observing her at that point. Yeah, hop her little ass right in the back. Let's go. We on the walk. Ooh. So yeah, in conjuncting Pisces, processing all possibilities of what can be manifested through the subconscious imagination based on toggling between your own and others' reactions. That shit was just a little bit much for me, because it's just like, you got Mars in conjuncting that shit, you got Venus in conjuncting that shit. So whatever you thought that your values and motivations and desires was given, just know it's going to be sprinkled with a little bit of, bitch, am I thinking too extreme? Am I going a bit too far? So that's why I wanted to create some realms, because it was like, okay, these is the planets, that's what they doing. What is this giving as far as the realms? And it gave Leo making the mouth bigger than what Saturn and Aquarius is necessarily prepared for, and Neptune and Pisces giving you the all you can motherfucking handle. So it's just like, with that Mars and Venus, your mouth, and sometimes your mouth be your motherfucking hand. It just be how it is that you communicate it. Again, we're talking about the mouth. We're talking about communication. We're talking about the portals. The shit that you are portaling with through the mouth. What the fuck is you out here mouthing, bitch? Can you read lips? And I'm not just talking about, average eyes, pussy lips. Y'all will read what is going on. Like, all the songs now is just, like, giving mad, like, not even all the songs, but, like, who was I watching? Oh, my goodness, I forget what I was watching, but, damn, the dude who made the song, Throw Baby, when that shit hit the streets, it hit hard in Baltimore, and I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, that's how I found out about that song, through, shout out to Clappers on, IG. She had posted it on her story, like she was in the car, and I had just looked up the lyrics and I found it. When I heard that shit, I could not help but immediately bop. Like, that's such a little bit, such a little, love the way you walk, love the way you talk, and then hearing his story later on, and just how he was able to write it. That's probably why it was hitting so hard, because it was so much truth behind it. So much of your mouth of what's being communicated, that shit that you put down in paper, that's just a couple words, it be backed and supported by, that's why music nowadays, it don't even have to be that many words, because it be all of the energy that these motherfuckers then accumulated to get to the fucking words, that when they are able to put a little bit of something into words, you're not even really catching the words, you're catching everything else. And that man said that, I ain't never heard no man say this a day in my motherfucking life. He said prior to those two women, prior to having sex with those two best friends, he had never appreciated Hid the way that he did. He said he wasn't even a fan. That was his exact words. I wasn't even a fan of Hid prior to them. But he had sex with the one girl, drama, wound up having sex with her friend, and he said, like, that shit was just, like, so immaculate. Shout out to them, because without them, trust and believe, y'all wouldn't have got that song. Trust and believe, without that experience, you would not have got that song. Cause my man, I heard that shit in that sex little bit, such a little hole. I like the way you walk, I like the way you talk. Baby, like, I don't know what the words is, but girl, that do. My man, shout out to those women. Yo, if I saw them on the street, I would not know who they was. My apologies to those women, because y'all deserve y'all motherfucking accolades. Break me off a piece of that motherfucking kick-pack bar, bitch. And I'm talking about, girl, them dividends. Because, girl, ain't no way I'm about to be out here putting songs into niggas. She says, like, a little bit. That's that, girl. That's that Saturn retrograde for you to really be able to focus on what matured in that communication, what build up in that communication. We're talking about Aquarius. We're talking about fixed intellect, fixed communication. And when things are fixed, you got to think about everything that was even building up in that communication, but prior to you even experiencing that shit, to be able to gain some sort of ability of that bitch. Girl, and Pisces is over here giving on right on the other side, talking about step by step. Girl, that's why, it's never gonna, one thing that I look for consistencies, and you are gonna consistently see, just in this, realm, girl, Aries over here doing some shit with fucking Pisces, and gonna be on the other side of fucking Taurus. It's never gonna be Aries is now over here with Leo or some shit. So that's the consistency there, okay? That's the motherfucking consistency. But it's just like, when you think about the consistent fuckery y'all two being next to each other does, because here's Aquarius with the fix, and then here's Pisces with the motherfucking, girl, let me tell you, telling all the fucking shit. Telling all the motherfucking tea. The tea that you didn't even know was motherfucking brewing. So here we are. And it says Mars is... And I'm reading my own shit. But Mars and Venus adding the sugar and spice to make it worth taking the compromising action. But Neptune not truly knowing if when enough is enough. And Saturn drawing the line. Right, when is enough, right? Because, bro, you can't keep fucking them friends. That's a lot, I'm a mama business? Because you ain't even put, it was just the interview, and that be the thing with celebrityism. Because, like, you put a little bit out there, and it'd be a whole bunch of motherfuckers, like, you know, worrying about your life in areas they shouldn't worry about it. And I get that. But, like, it is a great talking point of just, like, especially when you've been in those realms, like, when you've been in the realm of, like you were one of the best friends, you know, when you was one of the best friends. So it gets very much like, all right, the compromising actions, but also Neptune not knowing when enough is enough or drawing the line. Focus on how you live. Saturn, get it how you live. No one should have all that power. No one should have all that ability over you in the first place. Exactly. If you want to express some shit, you should have expressed that, knowing that at the end of the motherfucking day, no one has had that power over you. That was something that you gave yourself the power to motherfucking do. That's what you gave yourself the power to do. You gave yourself that power. So, of course, you know, with all of that power comes great responsibility. But once you give yourself that power, bitch, get it how the fuck you fucking live. Get it how you live. Because we're dealing with mutable and fixed energy. We got Leo, Aquarius popping, and motherfucking Pisces over here popping. So misunderstanding, you know, the taking on others, too many others of illusions. You know, everything that glitters ain't motherfucking gold. And that could just be the person that walked down the fucking street. Just because they're glittering in your fucking reality right now does not mean that you have to give it all of your grand action and attention, bitch. It could be very misleading. It can lead you off that train of thought that you were initially on, or what it is that you were working on. Alright, and I have pulled some cards, and it was the 10 of diamonds, 2 of spade, 3 of diamond, and the 8 of diamond. That shit all came up to a 23, so a 5, which pointing right back to Leo. So it's given, you know, sometimes you gotta fall off the high horse. And motherfuckers be like, I like to say when that one saying that be like, how high, like, you know, whatever, talking about, you know, jumping how high, whatever. Just because you fell from that motherfucking high horse, but how high did you fall up off that high horse? Because some people think that falling up on off your high horse is going to have your ass in somewhere bikini bottom. They think you're going to be down there sandy cheeks in it. And honey, ain't nobody ever that down bad. You know, unless you like to be in that space. Unless that's just your option and your chopping board at the moment. But if you are that sandy cheeks, you know, down, honey, that is when you think out of the spectrum of what that is a whole realm of reality outside of what that is. So that's a whole lot of power. That's a whole lot of responsibility and things that's being upheld. So the time to fall back from some of those things. Falling back on the high horse, you know. Fall back from the high horse. Maybe you need to be a little sandy cheeks. Okay? Maybe you need to give a little, you know, I'm ready. Give a little bit more of that motivation to yourself. Because ain't nobody, it's Leo energy. You are your own ambitioner. You are your own self of the maid. If you're going to, you know, make it, you're going to make it off of your own 2 Gracies. Okay? And then we go to the 2 of spades. All of that relating, that's what's making you feel like you've fallen from a high horse, because you're relating too much to things outside of you. You're relating too much to the portal itself versus the principle. Let's get out of the virtues for a second. Get to the principle, because then when you find the principle, you can succeed that motherfucker. And then you don't have to be the fucking principle, because you know what made the principle to motherfucking begin with. And how this principle may be a fucking pawn. And not even the goddamn anything that could get close to a checkmate. I'm not really in the realms of chess. But if people are out here checkmating a motherfucker with a pawn, you just a weak ass fucking player. At the end of the day. If you was checkmated with a pawn, I feel like you should at least be able to, I don't know. Let me mind mine, but I feel like a good chess game to me would be like the battle of the bit. Like, the pawns, y'all gonna get out the way. Like, you know? But sometimes you need the girl, but that's when you know the game is good. Again, never played chess. Like, I won't say I never played chess, but I don't know the ins and outs. But if I'm going to think about something I would want to watch, girl, let it be down to the last couple, you know, moves or whatever. You ain't both of y'all down to y'all last nitty gritty, and you stuck between, girl, the high places, maybe a knight or some shit. You still got your queens and kings or whatever, but girl, you gotta use that pawn. Shit, that's a cold ass chess game, and I would probably watch. I would probably watch. Okay, it gives goods. It gives very much that Rome wasn't built in a day energy, where so damn, you didn't really roam. You've been out here roaming, huh? You've been really out here roaming, huh? Don't nobody like Rome energy when that's what your cell phone says. When that cell phone says roaming, oh bitch, you out here giving very much, all right, well, let me hike through this random desert that just appeared out of nowhere. Girl, giving very much, not even paranormal activity, Twilight Zone. And that's what it's given. The next card was 3 of Diamonds, analyzing your surroundings and your ability. Because sometimes when you get into your ability and, like, you see, like, okay, like, this is a whole bunch of portals. These is a whole bunch of spaces that, yeah, I can jump into. But what the fuck is my point? What is my point of even being in this portal? What is the ability that you even have there? And then you can start to, you know, even use even more of that 10 energy, where you're falling from that high horse. Now, you didn't build yourself so high up on what it is that you had the ability to do from relating and analyzing your surrounding, that now you're falling down on that high horse. Motherfucker, what's wrong? Is it you? Is it you falling off the high horse? Did you fall, bitch? Or did you get too high and now you feel like you can't sustain yourself up there? Okay? Because the last card was 8 of Diamonds, whereas though it's you. You know, motherfucker, it's an internal thing where, on your own time, of course, but the ability is something you have to put the elbow grease into to actually see some shit through. Like, you have to put the elbow grease, honey, to even get behind closed doors. How did you even get behind closed doors without the elbow grease? You get what I'm saying? And sometimes the elbow grease, it can be as simple as the actual elbow grease. You had on you just looked real lotioned up that day, right? That was enough. Or it could be some, like, you didn't put in the actual work to build yourself up in a momentum of something that you're trying to build to even get behind closed doors, and you didn't put in some work. You know, you done put in some work. You done put in the elbow grease somewhere or two. And it may not be the greasiest, but it's the ability to see it through. It's the ability to see it through, because of what did all of this sum up to? A 23. That 5. Leo. The drive, the ambition, that self-made feeling. Oh yeah, that ain't gonna come just from you being fucking you, bitch. You are going to turn into a fucking spirit if you don't use your vehicle. You know, use your vehicles. Use your vehicles, and whether that be mentally, physically, emotionally, you tune up your fucking vehicles. The best way to know if your vehicle needs maintenance, bitch, is once you on the road. Once you on the road, you be realizing all types of shit. Like, bitch, is that my muffler? Girl, you don't even know what a fucking muffler look like. You don't even know if your car has a fucking muffler. I believe that all cars have mufflers. But girl, something be rattle at, and you talk about, is that my transmission fluid? Girl, you don't know what the fuck that is. But it's just giving very much like, honey, let's focus for a moment. Let's focus, because that's what you hit the road for, right? To drive your car, to see your vehicle. And sometimes your vehicle be having, like, you know, things like, hey girl, you know, 2 cents to the gallon, you know, hey girl, You're out here riding literally dirty. Like, can you run me through a fucking car wash? But that's just be like, I understand it for the girls. Like, when you live out in the country and you don't have like the necessarily like accessibility to like your own water hose, all of that shit, to like your own water system, all of that, to wash your own car, and you have to go somewhere else to wash your car, and then you barely even use your car like that, out of sight, out of mind. So it ain't to say like, because people are so, that's another thing when I'm talking about like, those fixed intellects. Like, you could be so observed in other people's illusions about shit. Like, other people will build whole ass glamours on you, glitters on you, you know, illusions on you, just based off whatever misunderstanding that they're having, that could be very misleading, like very misleading. But it is what it is, because girl, that's your fucking imagination running away with you, you know? That's what it gives. Yeah. Alright, y'all, so that was pretty much that one. That we're talking about Mars, Venus, Saturn to Neptune, honey. That's what it gives. Till next time. If I could do the little do aww. It's a parameter with like some arches that's like, you know, building on each other. And if I do like that, it gives very much Aries. But if I do like this, it gives very much like, aww, the heart chakra. Okay, y'all.